Are you thinking about starting a sports card YouTube channel? Well, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to outline some of the main things I've been learning about now that I'm about 9 months into my sports card YouTube channel journey. I'm not an expert, but I've been learning a lot. Hope this is useful. Number 1. Have a clear vision. Building a YouTube channel is like building a building. You have to at least have some idea for what you're trying to do before you get going. I mean, you can't necessarily have like a full-on, full-scale blueprint or something, but you at least have to have some idea of what it is you're trying to accomplish and what some of your goals are before you begin. A loose blueprint of sorts, one that can morph and change as you move forward with things. If all you want to do is share your sports card collection, then cool, that's your goal. But whatever your goal is, just have some idea of it in advance. At least a loose idea. You don't need to be so rigid in it as to not be willing to change it as you learn things and move forward, but at least it gives you some initial direction as you're getting started with things. Number 2, think about what you can offer that's truly unique. If you actually want to build an audience on YouTube, which I think for most of us is part of the goal of starting a YouTube channel, you have to have something that causes people to actually want to watch your videos. If you're just planning on ripping open some packs and boxes of cards, for example, why would someone choose to watch your videos when there's tons of other YouTubers doing the exact same thing, and some of them already have massive followings? Why would someone watch you rip that pack open when they could probably just head over to like Pac-Man's channel or Run Good Life's channel and watch them do it? What makes your channel stand out? There are lots of potential areas to consider making content for within the realm of sports cards, but I think making it stand out in some way or another is essential. Maybe you have really good takes on the happenings of the market that can offer people an interesting perspective. Maybe you're really good at video editing and you can make some unique, entertaining videos, since actually most sports card YouTube channels lack that kind of skill. Maybe you really like sports card history and can offer some interesting historical stories or perspectives. There's all kinds of things that might make for a unique and good quality channel. You just have to figure out what that is for you. Number 3, be honest and authentic. Don't position yourself as an expert. This is key. You don't have to always be right about everything, but you do have to be honest and authentic in why you think the way you do about something. When you don't know something, don't make it seem like you do. Be open, be honest. People can easily respect that even if they may disagree with you about things. When you're wrong about things, admit it. Don't let your ego push your audience away. 4, figure out a workflow that works for you. A lot of YouTube channel building influencer channels out there will try to convince you that the more frequently you post videos, the better. But there's a lot more to it than that. If your life allows for you to create 1 good quality video per week or 5 poor quality videos per week, go for the 1 good quality video per week, I'd say. Consistency does seem to help build a channel faster, for sure, but quality is essential. I mean, you don't need to like have perfect quality or anything right from the get-go, but you do need to figure out how to integrate the building of the channel into your life in a way that fits naturally. Creating a ton of videos only to end up burning out once you're on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers would be a mini tragedy of its own. Also, with workflow, consider what works best for you as far as what you do and when you do it. Do you work best doing one video start to finish and then starting the next one? Or do you like to do different pieces of different videos in different chunks of time? For me, for example, I like to spend time writing scripts and doing any necessary research for like 3 or 4 videos back to back before I do any sort of recording or anything else. Then with those 3 or 4 videos, I figure out which ones I can do as face videos and what I want to do with more like royalty-free videos or video screenshots or whatever. I find face videos actually take a lot less time to edit, but I also have to go more off the cuff with them. I mean, I am actually looking at a teleprompter. I shouldn't have said that, maybe, but I still have to kind of go off the cuff a little bit more because I'm not just simply reading the script that I wrote. So I like to kind of go back and forth between face videos and videos where I just record audio and then insert different accompanying videos. Is my way perfect? No, but it works well for my personal workflow and my personal approach. So then once I've done the scripts for 3 or 4 videos, I usually do all the recording for all 3 or 4 of those videos in a row. That's why you'll probably see me wearing the exact same clothes for like 3 or 4 videos that stretch out over a couple of weeks because I'm all doing it at one time. And then once I've done the recording for those 3 or 4 videos, then I'll start in on editing them one by one. I also find that for me, I like uploading videos in advance, so I'm not rushing to get out content on a regular schedule. I've chosen to create a schedule for my channel to have a video published once every 3 days, and at the moment I've actually got videos scheduled to be released for a month in advance, so even if I didn't make a single video for the next month, I've still got content coming. I like it that way, as I feel it increases my flexibility and doesn't end up making my personal schedule become overly beholden to making YouTube videos. I mean, sometimes there may be a video that's more time sensitive or related to something that is happening like right now, and if I make a video on that, I'll push back my other videos and put that one right away. But otherwise, most of my content is not so time sensitive that if it was released a few weeks later, it wouldn't be such a big deal. So I upload most of my videos well in advance of when they will be published on my channel. Then I can go on a week-long vacation or be away from YouTube for 2 weeks or whatever, and I'll still be fine. I'll still have videos being released every 3 days. I try always to keep myself at least 3 weeks ahead of the calendar if I don't have any major and unusual time commitments going on at that time. And then if I do have a major unusual time commitment, it's all right. I've got 3-week gap, a buffer zone. And number 5, don't skim over video titles and thumbnails. I'm no expert in this area, but the title and thumbnail are the cover of your video. Your video could be amazing, but if the cover is crap, it's much less likely it'll be clicked on. This is another area you don't need to be perfect at, but you should be trying to improve in over time. There's all kinds of videos and blogs and such about this topic out there. It's not an area I stress about at all, but it is an area where I try to get better over time. I really have no idea if I'm successful at that though. I have heard that YouTube has or will be starting some sort of feature for content creators where they can upload 2 different thumbnails and titles and get data back on which one gets better engagement. This could be an interesting way to try to learn something, because for me, I don't actually know whether I'm getting better at making titles and thumbnails or not. I think I am, but my click-through rate on my video thumbnails can be quite wildly different from one video to the next. So it's hard for me to know if that's due to the title or the thumbnail, or if it's just due to the nature of the content of that specific video or what. But still, clearly, this is an area that does have a path for learning. Number 6. Don't worry about perfection. Now, I've kind of alluded to this point a couple of times already. While you do want to make the best quality videos you can make, you also don't want to get weighed down in trying to make everything perfect. You don't have a perfect microphone? No worries, just do the best you can. You don't know how to do some kind of video editing technique that you think would really look cool right here in this spot of the video? No worries. If you want to learn it, go for it. If you'd rather focus on your workflow and figure out that editing trick later, no problem. If you decide you just don't want to ever think about that editing trick again, cool too, all fine. You don't need to make something perfect. I feel that most of the time, the sports card YouTube audience is much more interested in the nature of the content than they are the tricks of fancy video editing. So though it's definitely not a bad thing to improve your video editing skills over time, it's not something to get stuck on. I mean, have you actually ever watched the Sports Card Dad YouTube channel? His sound quality has frequent issues, and it's just his face talking at the camera with basically no editing. But he has 15,000 subscribers, and his videos are really enjoyable, informative, and entertaining. I mean, I'm not saying do it this way or don't do it this way, but because in my mind, it actually is important to get better at something over time when you're spending a lot of time at something, but you don't need to improve it in everything immediately. Maybe you find that you mumble too much and want to focus on improving that for a while. Cool. Maybe you find that you leave too many blank spaces in your videos while you're thinking about what you want to say next and you want to improve that aspect. Cool. Maybe the audio quality of your video is hard for listeners to stay focused on for so long and you want to gradually improve that. Cool. Maybe you're trying to showcase some of your cards and you find that you want to learn how to do the lighting better. Cool. Whatever it is, cool. But don't get bogged down by it. Do your best, try your best to get better, but don't worry about getting everything perfect. You know, even for me right now, I don't know if you can see in my eyes, I found a used, one of those, what is it called, ring lights? $3. It's USB powered. I got it for $3. So I'm trying to improve my lighting a little bit. Ugh, I got a sunburn though. I was outside all day the day before yesterday, very red. But it's just something I'm trying to improve a little bit. I'm not bogged down by it, but I had opportunity to buy a ring light for $3. Okay, I'll try to figure out if I can make my lighting a bit better. Cool. Number 7. Connect with your audience. I like to think of the people who comment on my videos as a community in itself. If someone has something to say about something in my videos and I just simply ignored them, I feel like I'm being an ass. I mean, maybe if my channel got super massive in size, it might be hard to respond to every single comment, but I'd certainly try my best to, even then. And when my channel is small, I feel like it's my responsibility to communicate with the people who have taken the time to watch my videos and share some thoughts about it. And this is true whether they agree with me and say how cool and amazing I am, or if they disagree with something and have a completely different take on it. I'm gonna do my best to engage with anyone who enters my YouTube channel space. I really don't like it when I've commented some thoughtful thing on some other channel and it doesn't get any sort of reply, especially when it's a small channel. If it's a massive channel and I'm not so bothered by it, there can be hundreds or thousands of comments, but on a channel that's getting like 20, 30 comments per video, to not get any kind of response back to a thoughtful post feels really neglectful. I've seen quite a few smallish YouTubers who will readily reply to comments that agree with them and ignore comments completely that disagree with them. I think that's also a really bad approach. You don't want your channel to turn into an echo chamber, and ignoring people who think differently than you is an easy way to eventually become an echo chamber. You want people who have different perspectives to feel like they can share their thoughts and be heard. Otherwise, you only get people who think the same way as you, which isn't going to be good for engagement on the channel or for learning opportunities. And it's just going to make not very interesting communication. 8. Connect with other YouTube content creators in authentic ways. As well as connecting with your audience, it can be beneficial to build authentic connections with other YouTube creators. As a content creator, I think it's beneficial to hear what some of the other conversations are that are going on in the sports card content world, and so watching content from different YouTube channels can be a very beneficial thing to do. But as you're consuming that content, take the opportunity to share some thoughts on what other people are sharing. It's a natural way to make some connections. And as a natural outgrowth of that, you'll likely get some video topic ideas and be able to further build on conversations with people over time. So it's all positive stuff. Number 9, very related. Other YouTube channels are not competition. They're potential collaborators. This is related to the last one, but if you're approaching building a YouTube channel as a competition against other channels, I think you're definitely approaching it with the wrong mindset. A person who is out there consuming sports card content isn't just wanting to listen to 1 or 2 channels only. They're likely happy to find as many good quality sports card related channels as they can find in the ocean of YouTube. As such, other channels are not your competition at all. They're your potential collaborators, and there are real possibilities for mutual support opportunities. Number 10, don't force your videos to be longer or shorter than they need to be. A lot of YouTube channel building kind of influencers will try to convince you to make all of your videos at least 8 minutes long. So there's that little extra rooms for an extra ad to fit into the video so you can make more money from Google AdSense once you're monetized. But I think this is an absolute wrong way to think about things. If you have a topic idea and really you can share what you want to share in 3 minutes, make a 3-minute video. If you need 30 minutes to really dig through some topic that requires more, then do that. Structure the length of the videos to be just as long as they need to be for that content you're trying to create. I think this is appreciated by people who watch your videos. I think that long term, if your audience also knows that you're not filling up your videos with meaninglessness in order to make more ad money, they're also more likely to watch your longer videos as well because they trust more that it won't be full of nothingness that's just there to stretch out the video or something. Number 11. Be prepared for and okay with receiving criticism. When you put your voice out there, accessible to the world, who knows whose ears and eyes it's going to reach? It's entirely possible some real a-holes find your channel comment section, a fun place to engage in their a-holery. Don't take it personal. If someone has an a-hole comment, more often than not, there actually is a perfectly reasonable thought behind what they are saying. They just happen to be saying it in a way that is a-holy. Some people express themselves that way. Don't take it personal. It's their thing, not yours. Other people might just be trolling, might just be looking to push some buttons for the sake of pushing buttons. Don't fall into that troll trap. Like water off a duck's back. Just ignore it or give it a quick little response or whatever that invites no further back and forth and move on. Don't worry about it. Number 12, make notes on video topic ideas whenever they pop in your head.
Note to self, I don't want to live.
As you get started on your YouTube channel, you'll likely start having video topic ideas pop into your head here and there. Don't lose them. Write them down whenever you have a chance. Or if someone in the comments of one of your videos shares something that would make for a good video idea, write that down as well. I find it really nice to have a list of possible videos to make when I sit down to start creating something. Sometimes I'm in a mood where I just want to be able to make an easy video on a topic that I don't really need to do any research for or think about too deeply. And other times I'm in a mood to enjoy digging deep into some topic I don't know much about. And other times I'm in a mood to look at history or something like that. If you have different topic ideas, you can pick and choose which kind of video to make based on what you feel like doing at that moment. I think that helps a lot in making the video creation process not feel like a chore, but more like something I can really enjoy doing whatever kind of mood I happen to be in. It gives you some flexibility when you go in to do some of your YouTube related tasks. And similarly, sometimes you might feel like video editing, other times you might feel like writing a script. Just do the thing that feels like what you would enjoy doing at the moment. You don't have to force yourself into a certain structure. Be flexible. 13, share your perspective on things, but acknowledge other perspectives. Just because you think some way about some topic or another doesn't necessarily mean you're always right. If you honestly think that your perspectives are always right and correct, then you've got an ego problem, my dude. In modern society, sometimes people are seen as wishy-washy or unconfident in their thoughts if they change their perspective about things, but I think that is absolutely the wrong way to look about it. I think someone unwilling to change their perspective on things is very often simply stuck in a rigid mindset and has allowed his ego's walls to prevent him from meaningfully considering other perspectives. When you're sharing your perspectives about something in a video, acknowledge other possible ways someone might see it in a different way. Consider it yourself in the light of that diverse perspective. You're not weak or wishy-washy in your convictions if you're simply considering various other perspectives openly and without a need to hunt for whatever holes you can poke in that other perspective. That kind of constantly hunting to poke holes in other people's ideas mindset is way too common in our society today and makes it hard for people to meaningfully learn from each other. And it's just extremely annoying. Number 14. Pay attention to what kind of videos get the biggest audience, but don't necessarily become beholden to just doing what is getting watched most. Okay, I think I need to explain this one a little bit more. A lot of YouTube channel building gurus will suggest something quite the opposite of what I'm saying here. A lot of people will tell you to find the videos that are getting the most engagement and make more videos down that kind of path. You could do that, but at the same time, you gotta be careful about getting pigeonholed into being one kind of content creator that gets stuck in one topic realm forever. Maybe it'll get you some consistent viewers for a while, but just as possible, you may start to find people getting bored of you talking about the same sorts of things every time, and you may end up losing some of the people that could have been your most committed audience members had you been willing to branch out and make some other types of videos here and there as well. I also think it'd be really easy to get bored as a content creator as well if I was needing to make videos on specific topics just because those kinds of videos were doing better with the YouTube algorithm. I don't like the idea of creating content not because it was some topic I really felt I had something meaningful to say something about, but instead I was just making videos that the algorithm was telling me would do well. There's a very different motivating force at work in those two different scenarios, and I can't imagine how I could keep myself motivated to keep building the channel meaningfully if I ended up getting trapped making stuff about specific topics just because the algorithm was telling me it's working better. Ugh, that sounds entirely unmotivating. For me, for example, some of the videos that I've made that have had the absolute lowest number of views are the videos I've made that are more historical in nature, like looking at the history of sports cards, or the history of sports card grading, or the history of the T206 baseball card set, or the history of the 1948 Leaf boxing set, or the history of the 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie card. But at the same time, those were some of my absolute favorite videos to make. I learned a ton. I loved the research. The videos were special to me. I was intrinsically motivated to create them. The fact that they weren't watched by many people is slightly annoying, but at the same time, it doesn't matter that much. I still really enjoyed the process of making them, and I'm glad I did. I'll likely continue to make other historical types of videos here and there, despite the knowledge I now have that most likely those ones will get a lot less engagement. It's all right, as long as I'm doing it from an intrinsic motivation. That intrinsic motivation will help me to keep building the channel to the best of my effort. I'm sure there are some other things I could probably add to this video if I let it germinate a bit longer, but I think there is more than enough food for thought baked into this video already, and it's way longer than I was originally expecting it to be. I hope it was helpful to some of you all, but for now, check you later. Peace.